Alright, so this is the first time I'm trying this. Mexican cheesy crab cake. Alright. So you get yourself this. Alright? Non-GMO, organic, native forest, young jackfruit, not mature, so it's not sweet. Let me show you. So it kind of looks like that in the can, except they're flattened down. Because I'm going to bread these and put bread. I'm going to make a bread, and I'm going to dip them in the bread flour and see what happens, and then fry them up. Not tonight, but probably tomorrow. Unless I might even do it tonight and check it out. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll do it tonight and check it out. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's what they look like. And then what you do is you get yourself some paper towels, put them down here. First, you open the can, not all the way, drain it out. It's just water, salt, and lime. Then I fill the can up, I rinse it out a couple times. Then I throw them on the paper towel on this board. With some more paper towels, I squish them down flat, like you saw those other ones. And they're nice and tender. Oops. I just, what do you call it? Kind of just peel it apart with a fork and a knife until you get the texture that you want. Now, let me see what I got in here. Alright, so there's salt and pepper. There is tomato from the store, and it's not organic this time around. There is what looks like green onion, but it's escape. Escape is what that green onion thing is, but it's from a red onion. So it will look like green onion. That's from my house. That's organic. There is orange bell pepper in there. That's organic. That's from my house. There is cilantro in there. That actually is from the store this time. It's organic. There is organic non-GMO celery from my house in here. And there's this chili powder mix, which if my camera zooms in, you'll be able to see it. If not, I'll have to read it to you. Voila. Okay, all that stuff. It's not spicy or anything, but it's good Mexican flavor. All right, so that's in there, and I think that's it right now. And what I'm going to do is, and the best way to do this, there's vegan mayonnaise. So here's this vegan mayonnaise. It's non-GMO, or is it? I only buy it once in a while. Let's see here. 100% recycled, plant vegan, gluten-free, cholesterol-free. Maybe it's not non-GMO. I don't know. Not much ingredients in it at all. Alright, so what you do is I put some flour on the board. Then I put all this stuff together, and start mixing it. Then I throw some mayo in, start mixing it, and some flour on top, start mixing it, and just to get it a little floury. And then as I do that, I pat it down nice and hard, like not really in a circle, but in a flat, nice square actually. I keep it in here, put it in the fridge for like 2 hours, and that way it's easy to form. And it does a little big, but once I fry it on each side, I'll squish it down a little bit, so we'll give it that crab cake look. If you're familiar with crab cakes on the East Coast, like jumbo lump crab cake will always be kind of busting out because it's like that. And that's it. That's the easiest thing to do with that. And let's see what else I got. So like I said, I was going to put cheese in it. So there's my vegan cheese that I make. I got some cut up over here. And this is so easy, the vegan cheese. So you get your agar powder. It's comes from red algae. It's a gelatin, a vegan gelatin. Get yourself some Thrive Market vegan Parmesan cheese. It's non-GMO and all that stuff. Let's see if it comes in. Voila. Voila. There it goes. Alright, it's all vegan, all plant-based stuff. Non-GMO organic. So you get yourself 15 ounces of water or non-dairy milk. It doesn't matter too much. You're not going to really be able to tell the difference. So you get 15 ounces, throw it in a blender. You do 3 to 4 tablespoons of this. You get it to the cheesiest taste you like. I wouldn't go under 3 and I wouldn't go over 4. 3 tablespoons, 15 ounces of your milk, all in a blender, 1.5 tablespoons of this, and then salt and pepper just to taste. And you blend it, and get it nice and smooth. Throw it in a pan, number 6 or 5 on the stove, medium to medium high. 6 to 10 minutes bubbling, not boiling over, but just bubbling. Whisk it the whole time. Take it off, let it cool. Keep whisking it. You want it to bubble so the agar activates. You'll see it. It will start to get really thick. Turn from watery to thick. And then you just, after it cools enough and you stir it, you pour it into molds or into a container or whatever you want. Oh, now you can also do this. This time around I did it. Arrowroot flour. Okay? Arrowroot flour, 1 teaspoon. That makes it a little bit more melty. It will melt a little bit easier. This is what it looks like. It's really good, really delicious. Between Parmesan and mozzarella flavor, it's really good. So that's going to go on there. That's how easy that is to make that. So that's simple. That's real simple. It's going to go over a bed of lettuce tonight. Bed of lettuce. And over here is pineapple. So this was a non-GMO organic pineapple in a can with its natural juices. It goes right in there. It's got a little bit of flax organic and this hemp over here. The hemp is raw, and the flax is already ground. I didn't put any chia or anything like that in it because I didn't want to overhaul the taste. I want it to taste like pineapple, but sometimes I keep it just pineapple without this. Sometimes I put it with this. It's also got some fresh mint leaves from my own indoor garden. The mint is non-GMO and organic because it comes from a creek around a lake and a stream here in the mountain area. And I got it like 5 years ago, and it potted into like 5 more containers. It grows like awesome. I'll give you a look at it. Here's the one mint. How beautiful is that? In the wild, it grows straight up in one giant stalk with a few little branches, like a little tree. It's about 3 to 5 feet tall, but when you put it in a pot, that's how it grows. Not sure why. But it's awesome. Spearmint. And then it's topped off with some ice. So I'll have that along with this. It'll be like a Mexican tropical dinner night, I guess. Over here, I'll show you this. This is salsa. I made it different. I like my salsa fresh and just cilantro and either onion or garlic and salt and pepper in it. But tonight I decided to throw a little bit of that in there, the chili powder. And I put an orange, or was it yellow? I think it might have been yellow or orange. I think it was the yellow one in here. A yellow bell pepper in here. And I also got celery in there. And it's got a really nice taste to it. Really, really bold kind of taste to it. I like it a lot. So once in a while I like to try to do something like that. The bell pepper was new. I've done it with cucumbers. Cucumber actually gives it a nice flavor too, but it's a little bit unique. You kind of have to like that. But celery is really good in there. And this time I threw the bell pepper, and it worked out nice. And it's like darker color and bold. And people will probably be saying, you don't use a canned tomato. Well, I did. I actually didn't have enough tomatoes, so I used this. And I did this once before, and it comes out great. Because with all the other stuff you have in it, it keeps it nice and fresh anyway. You really couldn't tell the difference, especially when you chill it. And obviously, I make my own salsa with regular fresh tomatoes all like 9 out of 10 times. And I'm telling you, you wouldn't be able to taste the difference. All right, so I'm just going to put this in a pan with some oil and probably do like 3-4 minutes each side. And then probably squish it down and then put the cheese on, put a top on, let the cheese melt. And then maybe take the top back off to crisp it back up because it has a tendency to maybe soften a little bit. So it's awesome. It tasted great, by the way. As I made it, I kind of spooned a little bit off of it first and ate it, and it has a really nice flavor, so it should be really good. Take you for a quick tour while this is cooking. So I eat 1 meal a day, vegan, non-GMO, organic. I buy as best I can only what can be recycled. And I've been doing my own food for 1.5 years. Tons of strawberries. Started with 6 and they just exploded the last year. First 6 months did nothing. The last year they exploded. I have 154 with another 7 to 10 babies forming. So I'll be over like 164 maybe. So here's some giant large bell pepper that will start flowering soon. I can see them already. And that was non-GMO organic from the store 2 years ago, not the plant. I bought one, and then I ate it and seeded it, and I keep doing that. I've done that with the little guys too that I used tonight in tonight's dinner. Some flour and the mince down there, cilantro seeding. This is a tomato that just, I must have dropped a seed, I don't know what happened there, or reused some soil, I don't know. And that's a pomegranate, dwarf edible pomegranate. Here's some radishes. The greens of radishes are really good to eat. Some garlic in between. Here's some cucumbers I just started, some spinach, and then some lettuce. Out on the balcony, some different lettuces that I just started. Here's some more strawberries, and as you can see, I told you the babies. This is the baby right here. All right, so we got little bell peppers and little bell peppers. They're the orange minis. They'll be yellow, orange, and red. Celery. Here's those scapes I told you about. So they look like green onions, but that's actually a red onion. So if you have any red onions or any onions and they form one of those, put it in the ground and they'll form a ton, and then you can start using them, and that thing is supposed to flower. There's some Brussels sprouts back to back there. Grape tomatoes, Roma tomatoes. They go out in the balcony when it gets sunny, and they are Campari tomatoes, an oversized cherry tomato. That is some sage that's been cut a lot. Here's some oregano. On the balcony there is carrots starting to grow and rosemary. Here's some basil. The one basil went to seed, the other basil is still growing, and then there's a baby guy. There's basil going outside. Oh wait, I got it right here because I brought it in because it's going to be like 40 degrees tonight. Really strange weather here. Usually it's like 100 degrees by now, and it's only like 70. And then at night it's 40 where it should be 50 to 55. Here's cilantros, and here's a tomato that got in there along with basils. Here's some potatoes. They're golden potatoes. They're from the store, and I let a couple spud, so they're coming up. All right, here's giant leaf parsley. This is a Campari tomato. I picked a few off already. Sorry for the boxes, they got to get recycled. There's some tomatoes, there's some more mint over there. And that is just a flower. And there's some more celery right there. Here's giant peppers. Oh, I forgot to show you the little guys. So here's the giant ones. They'll go to red. And there's like 4 or 5 on. They dropped some flowers. I let it go one day too long, and it didn't have enough water, and they drooped and they dropped flowers. They came back beautiful, but the flowers dropped. Here's some red potatoes that I did the same with. They should be ready real soon. Let's see, and then strawberries because they keep on babying. And here's where the strawberries started. This is what they look like in case you've never seen them. They grow like a branch. Then they flower and they turn into these. I should have some that are flowering. Yeah, I do. I see them right here. So this is what they would look like. They smell really nice. And then they start to look like a berry. Then they look like I just showed you. And then they will start to look like this. This might be the biggest one I've ever had. Usually they're around that size to this size. This guy's a little bit large for that. I don't know if it's because the plant is so big and healthy. I don't know. And then as you can see, the babies are everywhere. So otherwise I'd be growing more food. Okay, so here's the peppers that I've been using and cutting. There's only like that one's still growing, and then this guy's a little smaller. Let's see, where is he? Like that. The one I used tonight, the orange one, was double this size. Pretty long. So what I gotta do, I see another one still trying to grow. So I cut this one down because I used it. And what happened the last time I experimented is I cut it down a little bit, as you can see, and it grew back and peppered about 3 to 4 more. So I'll do that with this as well. In the meantime, you saw the big one almost ready to go, and then the first one I showed you should start flowering and peppering and have it in the next month. And then these guys here, they're still getting ready. So I'm trying to learn how to keep everything going. I had tons of lettuce, but I went through it already. So like I said, I got spinach, lettuce out there, and then the radishes with the greens are good. So trying to get everything rolling over, or at least the herbs and the salads and the cukes. But because of all the strawberries, it's a little bit difficult. It's fun though, I tell you, it's fun. Harbor Hyper Tough is the name of the shelves. GE grow lights, red and blue spectrum, but they're white lights. They're 2 feet long. I got it all on Walmart online. Really great prices. This is real fun stuff, and you can save yourself a lot of money, and it makes your home look really nice. All right, so this is just sauteing in a pan. Looks good. Another minute or two, and I'll flip it over. And then after it crisp, I'll smush it down a little bit. Throw the cheese on. It should be good to go. So yeah, you grow your own food, and it's really awesome because, like, you make your cheese, you make the bread. I make my own homemade flatbread in here, where I can do pizzas, quesadillas, open-faced sandwiches, bread for side salads and soup. Right here in the pan, easy as could be. And you can make it as thick as thin as you want. But like tonight, so tonight was the pepper, the celery, the onion, and was that it that I said? So that all came from my house. And you know what? I'll show you something. So this isn't an organic non-GMO tomato, but it's a Roma tomato. The ones I'm growing will look like this, but they are organic and non-GMO. This I grew. This is a Campari tomato. It looks like a cherry tomato. The other one was another half size larger. So that's what I'm growing when I said Campari. I actually grew this and cut it off 2 days ago from the vine to let it ripen. So the other ones will, you know, get more energy to grow the other ones instead of leaving that there to ripen. Yeah, so it saves you money. It's fun. And it's so great because the lights are red and blue spectrum, and they're from start to finish. You saw the different sizes: baby plants, giant pepper plants, flowers, cucumbers, everything. So they work well, and they're not that expensive. GE grow lights, 24 inches, red and blue spectrum from seed to fruit. Hyper tough shelving. Check it out if you're interested. And like I said, you do the herbs, and then or do herbs and salad. You'll save yourself $50 a month instead of buying all that stuff, and it's fun. And the white light, even though it's red and blue spectrum, lights up your whole house, and you don't need any other lighting on. It doesn't do anything to your electric bill either. They're 40 watts. But I guess because the way they're made or whatever, maybe they're different powerages than a regular 40 watt light bulb. They don't feel hot or anything. Like a 40 watt light bulb, if you tried to touch it, would burn you. This doesn't do that. And like I said, to cut something fresh or to get fresh berries off for your dessert or your salads, like I'll get the berries and throw them into my salads or into my wraps and stuff. It's really awesome. And it's just so cool to know that you're doing it yourself, you know. So there, I flipped it over. Now I've never used bread flour, so I tried it purposely tonight just to see what it would be like, because the bread that I make with this flour is so awesome. It's Bob's Artesian bread flour, and it's just so good. So I just figured, let me see what it does, a little coating of that on it, what kind of taste it brings it, instead of like regular all-purpose flour or rice flour or whatever else you might use. So one thing I'll share with you, so like cilantro for me, it always goes to seed real fast, even though if I can use a lot of it, but you'll see all those white flowers will basically turn into seeds. So you can let things go to seed when you're done eating these, the peppers, the tomatoes. You let them go to seed, you use the seeds, you clean them off and use the seeds and replant them. The mint, you don't have to worry about, that grows like wildflower. The strawberries produce so many babies, and I've never got a strawberry seed to grow anyway. Cucumbers, you would have to let 1 cucumber or 2 cucumbers go overripe, then you can use it for seed. Otherwise, they won't be mature enough to grow a new plant. Same thing with the rest of the herbs. A lot of the herbs will keep growing back, like the basil is growing while it's reseeding, and that way you never have to buy any seeds after that. So it's really fun and it's really awesome. And then the trick with this works too. Clipping it and letting it grow back, and you might get a few more instead of, a lot of people just wreck their plant thinking that it's not going to produce again. Maybe like if you get a genetically modified one, then maybe that's what will happen. It won't reproduce, and they probably do that on purpose. So you have to buy more seeds. You know what I mean? But I did this already, and it grew. It regrew and gave me some more. It didn't give me a ton like the first time. You can see here. They're all flowers, those little balls. Here, maybe you can see this. They'll all be flowers there. So, and they don't all produce. Some of them drop off, even if the plant looks completely healthy. I'm not sure why. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. So saving money, reseeding, letting them reseed themselves and collecting the seeds. I do the same thing with the parsley and stuff. And yeah, it's just really fun and awesome. You'll save a lot of money. You get used to it. I didn't like read books or do anything. I just said, hey, I'm going to do this. And I had a little background growing herbs back at home before I moved out this coast, but that was just a couple herbs out in the sun in the screen house. This is a whole different thing, but it's simple. Simple, simple. Easy to water once a day. Lights go on either during the day, all day, and then shut them off, or overnight and shut them off when you get up in the morning. You only need 6 to 9 hours. The box will tell you 18 hours, 16 hours. I say no way. I'm proof of it. Look at the size of that thing. That doesn't sit there more than 6 hours. Matter of fact, it was sitting most of the day off of there, not up close to the light. And as you can see, the different sizes of things, they grow perfectly 6 to 9 hours. You don't need no 16, 18 hours. So here, real quickly, talking about how well the lights do. So this is about a foot to 2 feet. That's about 2 feet off of the lights. And as you can see, the light stretches out. And this giant plant was cut down about 7 months ago, and you can see it. That's the flower it died, so I'll get the seeds from this and plant some more. But I cut it. I don't even know what it is. I only have one, so I don't know if it's a rogue seed or not, but it puts out these beautiful trumpet flowers. So real quickly here, it's gonna flower right there. And this one here will flower, and there's another little one growing. So that will get going up, up, up and away. And then, you get the seeds. Cheese on, now I'll cover it and let it sit for a few minutes. Just gotta watch it because the cheese is made with water. So if it starts to melt, you don't want it to splash up all in the oil. So it should be about 2 to 3 minutes probably. Alright, so I said I eat 1 meal a day. I also have this. I'll have one of these green grass juices. Barley grass, oat grass, wheat grass, and then there's veggies and roots and all that kind of stuff in it. Chocolate is good. Lemon lime is very good. Tangerine is excellent. Watermelon is alright. I mix a little bit of this in, spirulina, fresh and salt water. See if this comes in here, let's see. See where it says naturally. Contains A, K, and B12 and magnesium. They're not showing on this label. They changed their whole labeling. But I got the paperwork sent to me via email, the science papers. They're still holding at about 200 to 300% on A, K, and B12. Naturally occurring. And even got like 2 grams of protein. So I put a little bit of that in when I have one of my juices. This one here is just like their superfood green. Tastes like tea, actually. Tastes like green tea. This company is Garden of Life, by the way. That's amazing grass. This is a raw one, and this is good. So what I do with this one and this one, I'll do half a scoop of this, half a scoop of one of the flavors. Sometimes I'll do half a scoop of this and one of the flavors. Over here we got all-in-ones or meal replacements. That's Garden of Life. They do make a raw version. Vanilla is good. Chocolate's alright, kind of blah, but I like it because this company has the best ingredient list and vitamins and minerals and everything. This guy here is way overpriced, and they don't give you a good amount of scoops. Now this is their big guy, and their big guy gives you 17 servings. This is their little guy, and their little guy gives you 18 servings. The servings here is 42 grams. The serving here is 35 grams. So you're looking at 18 servings compared to 17 servings. But here's the key. That's $25, and I think a way better product. And this is like $50 to $55. They, at $45, has a 28 servings, 28 days compared to 17 days, right? But this chocolate is excellent. It's the best one. You can kind of get an idea. There's my camera might not focus, but you can read online their stuff compared to their stuff. And the other reason I really like Garden of Life, their protein blend has all that. So from where you see my fingertip to all the way down there, that's the different materials they're using for protein. This guy only uses pea protein and flaxseed. That's it. This guy uses tons, so you can it almost, yeah, you can probably see that. Look at all that. I like it way better. But don't use their vanilla. The vanilla French or regular is, it does not taste good at all. You'll be wasting it, I'm telling you. Get their vanilla and get their chocolate too. And what I do is I mix a quarter to a half a scoop of theirs and a half a scoop of this to make it last longer because it's so pricey. Remember, their big guy is only $45 for 28 days. And it will still carry this flavor and it will last longer, all right? Because their chocolate is excellent. I've had 4 or 5 other brands, not even worth buying. It's either this one or these guys. And you can do the raw one as well. All right, I wanted to share that with you. So I'll have one of those during the day, and then one of these either before or after my meal. So a lot of times I have it with my meal. Tonight I didn't get to this, so I'm going to do that tonight. And then afterwards I'll finish it up with that. It keeps you alkaline. Alkaline over acidic. All right? Don't think of acidic as grapefruits and oranges. That's not it. It's after it digests in your body, all right? So you want to always be raw plant material as best you can, as raw as you can, organic, non-GMO. Stay away from processed foods, processed drinks. You drink smoothies like this, you drink this kind of stuff and this kind of stuff, and then water. Don't drink anything else, really, honestly. All right? So I wanted to share that with you. All right, so this is done. Got it just in time before I started hitting on the oil. Before I put it on the lettuce, I'm going to let it cool a little bit so it doesn't like wilt the lettuce. One thing I cannot stand is wilted lettuce, slimy lettuce. Just topping it with that. I'm going to pour a little cracked pepper on that to make it look pretty and taste good too. Looks restaurant worthy, huh? Let's see if that comes in better. Looks restaurant worthy. Most of my food tastes really awesome. Once a year I'll try making some of them. Just might not come out good, but mostly it comes out awesome. But I've been cooking my own stuff, non-vegan and then vegan. Vegan 10 years, non-vegan all before that. I've been cooking probably on my own. I'm 51, so probably since my early 20s. I cooked at home. My wife, when I was married, my wife cooked once in a while, but mostly I cooked everything. So I'll give you a shot of the melted cheese, the insides. Now I know you might say, well, don't you use these for chicken all the time? I do different chicken dishes and pulled pork and tacos and everything. I do, but it depends on the flavor. Like I use crab cake stuff. You can use this vegan Old Bay because it's vegan and it's seasoning for like seafood. But the Mexican style and everything else that goes into it, it gives you that crab cake type feeling and taste in the cilantro than it does chicken. But you know, when I do my pork or chicken cutlets or Parmesan, I spice them a little bit differently, like Italian seasoning or something, or garlic and stuff like that. Goes real well. So let's see how this tastes. This is the first time I've done a Mexican style crab cake. Let's see if it holds the taste like it did when I first ate it. It tasted so good when I was making it. Oh yeah, man, that's awesome. That's good. That is really good. I like it a lot. So I'm going to go sit down and enjoy this Mexican tropical island dish with my pineapple smoothie and some nice music. Alright, if you lasted this long, I hope you learned something. Good health to yourselves, better eating, less eating, fresher eating. Some of the products I showed you, good music, growing your own food. Alright, lots of love to you. Bye-bye.